The road to financial freedom is not easy in South Africa. And in today's episode of the Wealth Nation podcast, we are looking into the common mistakes that hinder many South Africans in achieving financial independence, true financial independence. Thanks for joining me today. I am Yolanda. I am a wealth advisor, and it is my goal on the Wealth Nation podcast to give you easy, actionable tips, content, and strategies that you can use to manage money well, to live abundantly, and build generational wealth. If you're new to the podcast, please consider subscribing. And when you do subscribe, you'll help me reach others just like you that are looking for this kind of content. And if you are listening to me on any one of the podcasting platforms, I would greatly appreciate it if you could leave me an honest review of what you think about the Wealth Nation podcast. If there's anything that you would like me to cover in the content of our podcast, drop me a mail. It's yolanda@financiallyfabulousfemales.com. So today I'm going to talk to you about money habits that are keeping you poor and basically prevent you from reaching true financial independence. And the first thing we're talking about is paying yourself last. This is a thing that's really keeping you poor. Now, here there are two types of people. Those are the people that pay themselves last, who get their salary and right away pay the bond, pay the rent, pay the bills, pay Netflix, credit cards, settle your food bills, your social, your going out. And whatever is left, that is what you save. Now, poor people don't realize that this means you're always going to be short of money. Now, on the other hand, you have the second type of person. They pay themselves first. This means they're putting away at least 10%, 20% of their income every month the moment that money hits their account. Then everybody else gets paid. With the current cost of living, saving 10% of your after-tax income, I know is kind of ambitious. However, it's a fair target to aim for. And this will eliminate non-essential spending. So why does the pay yourself method work? Well, firstly, you prioritize your saving. You're allocating at least 10% of your monthly pay into a savings fund and eventually an investment fund. Because when you budget the right way, which is the pay yourself first way, if you're short, you're not going to cut your savings budget. You're going to cut the subscriptions. You're going to relook at your food budget. You're going to relook at going out. Your hand is forced when you pay yourself first because you can't afford to touch your savings budget. The second thing that is keeping people poor is getting too comfortable with credit card debt. Because those monthly premiums are payable, you're kind of comfortable. It's too comfortable for you to be swiping the credit card. And credit cards in general make so much money for the banks. I mean, if you look at it, what are we at, 20%? In some cases, depending on your level of risk, 23% interest per annum on that credit card. This is keeping people poor. And with interest rates anywhere from 20 to 25% per annum, this means that a 5,000 Rand credit card balance left unpaid costs about 1,000 to 1,250 a year to operate. That's a big ripoff. And too many people get trapped in that cycle. And the solution is very painful, but it's still so simple. If you can't afford to pay it off in cash, don't buy it. Now, credit cards can be a really useful tool, but they can also be a double-edged sword as well. They offer plenty of convenience, plenty of rewards. But the trap here lies with those interest rates. And by only paying the minimum balance, you're essentially prolonging that debt and paying that same amount of money over and over for items that you already bought, already used, probably already broken and bought a new one. Okay, so always aim to clear that balance. It's a small discipline that can save you a lot of money in the long run, especially if you're listening to this and you're young and you haven't felt that trap of that credit card yet. Take it from people that are older and wiser. Please pay it off. The next thing that's keeping you poor is not having an emergency fund. Now, unexpected expenses cost more than you think. And life happens. It will happen. There will be an emergency and you're going to need that cash buffer, easy access somewhere in your bank account. Unexpected expenses cost you more than you think without a cash buffer. You're instantly paying interest if you have to swipe that emergency on your credit card, or worse still, use your overdraft. Too many people just use the credit card and end up poor for years because of this emergency and struggling every week with the bills and going without the needs when wants are prioritized. By paying yourself first, which we spoke about in our first point, you can build up an emergency fund that will protect you from this emergency debt. The absence of the emergency fund has repeatedly emerged as a primary vulnerability to many South Africans. Without one, even something so unexpected can plunge you into debt. And by setting aside funds for unforeseen circumstances, you are preparing for the unexpected and affording yourself peace of mind that can't be quantified in monetary terms. The next thing that's keeping you poor is you not understanding your income and your expenses. Now, the reality is that the more you earn, the more you're going to spend. It's as easy as that. And many South Africans have no idea where the money goes. I can't tell you how many people I speak to every day, and they come because they say, you know what, I'm earning well, but I just don't know where this money is going, and I'm not building wealth, so I need your help. So to avoid this, you got to start budgeting. And budgeting, it's not a static thing. It's a live document. You got to be going to it every week, bare minimum every week. Go and check. Did I really spend 1,000 rand on food, or did I spend more? Right. So although you have those allocations that you do at the beginning of the month, it's that feedback loop that makes this process, the budgeting process, an ongoing process. It's a live document. It's not a static exercise. People who understand where their money is going tend to make more by spending less. This is different from people who want to be rich and have no idea how to get there because all their earnings are spent without consideration or any sort of oversight. Now, too many people have no idea what they earn and spend because they never look at the bank statements. The best way to cut out on expenses is to get into your banking app. If you like the paper, print out those statements, the bank statement, the credit card statements, and go through that bank account. Get yourself a bunch of colored highlighters and highlight needs, wants, needs, wants, needs, wants. Do some calculations and you'll be surprised where your money is going that you didn't even know because you're just unconsciously spending. Now, it can be a very tedious task, budgeting, but it's a very necessary and empowering task. It gives you control, it gives you clarity, it gives you a sense of direction. And when you understand where your money goes, you're going to be in a position to make informed decisions that influence your financial health. The next thing that keeps you broke for a long time is waiting too long to invest. Now, inflation makes money lose value over time. The longer you wait to invest, the more purchasing power your money loses. Compounding interest generates returns day after day. And starting your investment journey early, even with small amounts, can lead to significant growth over time. But too often, South Africans delay taking this step. So if you have no idea where to invest, start with the bank. Start with getting that positive behavior in place by knowing that, right, 10% of my income is being allocated somewhere. Spend 3-4 months doing that. And once you can consistently do that, put money away without touching it for 4 to 5 month periods. Speak to a financial advisor because now you've got that good behavior, those good money habits in place, and you can put that money away. The power of compound interest is it's insane. But it needs time to work. It's magic. Many South Africans are even delaying retirement savings, thinking they can play catch up when they're a little bit older and they're earning a little bit more. But the reality is, if you can start early enough, you don't even need to put that much away in order to reach your wealth building goals. And the next thing that's keeping you poor is keeping up with the Joneses. This will always keep you poor. Now, it's easy to get caught up with the pressures of society. You want to start living a lifestyle that you can't really afford just to keep up with appearances. You want to buy the latest tech, the latest cell phone, going on these lavish holidays, driving a swanky car on a car loan that the bank would own. And all these things can rapidly deplete your wealth. Remember, wealth is not what you spend, but what you save and what you invest. Living within your means and prioritizing your financial well-being over society's expectations. I can really go on with this episode for a long time, but I'm going to round it up here. And the most significant thing that I think that's keeping you poor is you neglecting financial education. Now you're here. It's a great start. Check out our other content. Check out our other content on our YouTube channel. Financially Fabulous Females on our website, financiallyfabulousfemales.com. And we even have tons of paid courses right now. And I want you to really check out Money 101 if you're struggling and you have no idea where to go with your finances. It's a course that I've put together at a request of many of my online followers to just help you understand the money landscape, how you should budget, how you should prioritize paying down debt, basics of retirement planning and saving for your kids' education, and basic money management. That is what Money 101 is about. If you want access to that course with guided videos, downloadables, tools, go to my website or click the link where you are listening to this episode and you can get into Money 101. All right. So the financial education, this is the paid part that you can look at other than the free resources. And essentially, by not understanding the fundamental financial concepts, you're more likely to make poor money decisions. Spend time learning about investments, interest rate, taxes, and other essential financial topics. There are numerous online resources, workshops, seminars available. And like I said, Money 101 is there if you really want to commit on this journey to understanding the South African financial landscape. All right, so that's it for me on this episode of the Wealth Nation podcast. I'll chat to you next week.